Well, I have a feeling there's still going to be some confrontation because I have about 6 girlfriends right now, and
I'll do it.
not, not sure how that's going to work out, but I don't think it's going to end well. But just couldn't help myself. This week's episode of Comically Gaming is brought to you by our buddies over at Mutiny Info Cafe, where they not only have a great selection of used books, records, and great coffee, but they also have a fantastic selection of new and used comic books, graphic novels, manga, posters, Gundam robots, and more. Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver at the corner of Broadway and Ellsworth, and online at mutinyinfocafe.com.
What's up?
What up?
Got friend Adam here this week, joining us for the show. I was just going to have him on for a brief topic and then decided, you know what, screw it. Let's hang out for the whole time.
Right on. What up, Adam?
Not much. What's going on? Happy to be
Not
here.
much.
Same old, same old. So, kicking off this week's show, Corey.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Thanks.
Trimmed up. Yeah.
Fresh haircut.
Yeah, looking nice, definitely. How's your week?
It's pretty good. Still playing Persona. About 115 hours in. I'm getting there. I think I beat the final boss. But the game's not over.
Right. So
I feel like there's still a few hours left at least.
Yeah, again, I can just kind of compare it to 4, where after I beat the final boss in 4, there was like an hour left of like awesome, good times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't there was no more confrontation anymore. It was just kind of wrapping everything up.
Well, I have a feeling there's still going to be some confrontation because I have about 6 girlfriends right now, and
I'll do it.
Not sure how that's going to work out, but I don't think it's going to end well. But just couldn't help myself. Once I had 2, then as I'll get them all figured. And
you know, in number 4, I had 2 girlfriends, and when Valentine's Day came, one of them was crying by herself in a park, and so I won't do that again.
Yeah.
With 5, I felt really bad for her.
Well, I figured the other 5 can hang out together or something. Have a Corey hate club. Yeah. I just don't know which one I'm gonna invite out. It's a tough decision.
So
they're all so great. I mean, there's a few of them that are obvious no-goes, but it's well, just a couple.
So is still awesome?
Yeah. Yep,
still
for sure.
done? Okay, well, we'll have to delve a little deeper than that.
Loving it. Yeah, we gotta talk to Dirk too. Once now that he has it,
Yep.
He wanted to talk some trash about it. So
totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, caught up on all our comics. Read the newest Walking Dead, read the newest Star Wars, read Secret Empire 3 and 4.
Walking Dead's awesome, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man, I just read it today. God, so awesome! I can't believe how good that book continues to be.
I know, it's great.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, you'd think in those huge books that they couldn't all be hits, but lately, it seems like this past year has just been awesome.
Every issue,
something happens, and it just knocks my socks off.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, then. Well, I've been reading a little bit of Sandman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, not too much. I'm probably like 2 issues in. If I'm reading the books that you got me, so I don't know exactly where I'm at in it, but digging that. And then on the gaming night last night, I played a little more Wildlands and played a decent amount of 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, so Wildlands, first of all, shout out to Oliver. I was like, forget this stupid mission. We've been trying to do this for 3 damn days. And Oliver's like, no,
Yeah.
we're going to do this shit.
Yeah,
And we did.
And then we did it.
Yeah.
We did it that try.
I think you did it because I was in the background telling you what to do.
we just had to
Yeah, it was your motivational speaking that got us through.
So I think we've talked enough about Wildlands, but the 7 Days to Die, pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I really like it. I don't know. It's I know you're a Minecraft out, but I haven't played a whole lot of Minecraft. So that in a survival game with the 4 of us hanging out together, I liked everything about it. I wish I could have kept playing. It sucks that it's on your server. I can't just go around and
hook up your pad and stuff.
Hook up my pad, and I don't even really need, But I guess that makes sense since there's a timer and 7 days and everything. But it'd be cool if we could all do it on our own time. I might start a separate game, but I don't know. I gotta bust through these Uncharted once I finish Persona, so we can get to Uncharted 4.
Right. Yeah, and could not.
Adam just said he beat it, right?
Yeah, you beat Uncharted 4, yeah.
Yep, just last night.
So, just real quick before we leave 7 Days to Die, could not look more ghetto, huh? God, it looks awful. It looks terrible. And in the gameplay, when the zombies come and you're just trying to smack them on the head, terrible stuff. But just the whole kind of surviving in that world and just who knows what's going to be around the next corner and stuff. You know what I mean? Really cool.
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah. I mean, obviously not a AAA game with awesome graphics and sweet fighting mechanics and stuff, but for what it is, it's awesome. I definitely want to play more. So, digging it. Yeah. Cool. And then, I think that's about it. Got a haircut today.
Nice. So, I had Star Wars and Walking Dead for comics, for TV, Preacher, episode 1.
Oh yeah, I watched Preacher.
Briefly, we're gonna have a whole nother show about it, but awesome, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Really awesome.
That first 5-10 minutes. Like holy shit, I can't believe this. And then Better Call Saul. I'm almost to the end of that now. I'm still trying to get caught up after vacation for all my TV stuff. The playing Uncharted 3. So I'll ask him about in a minute here about Uncharted 4, but we got Uncharted 4 on the recent sale that knocked it down to $20 or whatever. Finally, that got me when I got home to jump in, knock out Uncharted 3 here. I do have to say, I think it really shocking. So you played all of them, right?
Yes.
So shocking to me, like I feel like people, I see a lot of arguments on like what was better, 2 or 3, and I feel like 3 is so much better. Like I feel like 3 is where it really started to be like storytelling wise, like as good as The Last of Us. Like to me, I don't know how you think about this, Adam, but me and Corey, like The Last of Us is like either number 1 or number 2 favorite game of all time, depending on when you talk to us about it, just based on most video games stories are terrible. They're presented terrible. They're, I'm one of the stupid people that plays video games for the story, even though they're terrible. I just like being a part of the story. But, compared to TV, compared to movies, compared to books, storytelling's terrible in video games in general. And I feel like The Last of Us is one of the few exceptions where it was awesome, could hold its own against any of that stuff. And I feel like Uncharted 3 is finally where Uncharted's like that. Like, I feel like 2 was good, and kind of like the story structure of it was good. I won't spoil the shit, but but like 3 is like, I'm totally, when you're walking along with the other people and just having conversations in the middle of it, and then it switches into cutscenes, and like everything feels totally natural and, like a big story. So I'm totally digging it at this point.
And if you're totally digging number 3, number 4 is gonna blow you out of the water.
Yeah. Story
wise and game wise.
Yeah. I'm ready because that's their next game after The Last of Us. So that's, if you're gonna follow up on The Last of Us, it's got to be pretty fucking impressive. And it was pretty much everybody's game of the year last year. It seems like when it came out. So I've got confidence. confidence there.
No spoilers, but like I told Corey last night, if you're gonna play 4, play 1, 2, and 3 first yet if you haven't.
Right. Well, and that's what, like I said to Corey, this is the first time in my life that I've ever done this in video games. I felt kind of weird about it until now I'm halfway through the game and I don't care at all. I put it on easy because I want to get to 4 at this point. You know, I don't.
That's what I'm gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, because I don't want to get caught up in that gunfight where I spend 3 hours in one particular thing getting pissed off. I want to experience the story and get to 4, and then I'll play 4 on normal once I get into 4. But yeah, definitely we're way late. We're a year late on this shit, but we're getting there finally. Also played a good bit of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, that story demo. Did you check that out, Corey?
No, I meant to. I didn't have time.
So I like it a lot. I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah.
The story's stupid, terrible, and it's nothing but loading screens. You know how like in Infamous, or not Infamous, what's the DC game? Injustice. You know how the cutscenes in the story, like it just goes right into the fight?
Yeah, I never really played the story in that.
You didn't?
Oh.
It's fucking crazy. You got to do that shit, man.
I know.
It's actually a good story. But Marvel vs. Capcom it's nothing but stupid, nonsensical cutscene followed by as much loading as the cutscene was, and then to a fight. It's terrible. It got to the point where I was just cutting it. But the action's awesome. The characters are awesome. We had kind of said before that we just wished it was all Marvel and fighting against Marvel characters. And I gotta say, now that I played it, I like the Capcom characters just as much. I'm glad that they're there, for sure. Yeah. So I like that a lot. And then 7 Days to Die, Wildlands, wrapping it up. So, Adam, how's your week? Uncharted, was that basically it?
Yeah.
Relevant to the show?
This has been the greatest week in a long time. With my buddy Nate, let me stay in his basement here while I make the move. I've played more video games this week than I have in probably the last 6 months, which is awesome for me.
Right?
Nice.
We have a kid, 4 years old, and ever since him, there hasn't been very many days of just sitting there playing video games. So it's nice to get back to that.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6. That was when I finally started getting back to it, for sure. Like it's too much attention is needed for the children before then, but they start doing their own thing.
Yeah, or now it's more like watching a cartoon if it's the right type of game.
Sure.
And he can sit there with a controller that's not plugged in or not charged and pretend to play with me now.
Right. Totally. All right, cool. Well, move on to the Star Wars news topic. It's funny, Corey. When we said we were going to start a Star Wars topic every week, we were both like, oh, will there be enough news? And now it's like every week there's something to talk about, for sure. So I got 2 things this week. I don't know if you had brought any topics or whatnot. So
I think you got them.
Thing number 1, Carrie Fisher's autopsy. Did you read about it?
No.
Have you heard about this?
I haven't seen it anywhere.
So, let's just say that she came from... She was on an airplane when she had this heart attack or whatnot that ultimately ended up with her death. And basically, she came from the greatest party on Earth when she went on that plane. Like, there was literally 9 different illicit substances in her system, and most of them were things that are only in your system for 24 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I mean, it was, go down the list of the big hard drugs, and they were in her system when she had her heart attack. I just wanted to point it out just because it was such crazy news, like how much was there. I saw a fair amount of people kind of joking about it here and there. I think Carrie Fisher has, in her past, she's had a lot of drug problems since the earlier Star Wars and whatnot, and she really attributes it a lot to depression and whatnot as well. She's been pretty open and vocal about that. So I don't feel good about joking about it like some people do and stuff.
Yeah.
But wow, go Google that list of stuff that was in her system.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's crazy. It's nuts for sure. For sure.
Jeez.
So, everything else, the big news of the week, and this really happened last week since we filmed, but the Han Solo movie directors being fired. When it first happened, it was like we quit / you're fired sort of thing. Turns out now, doing some research this week, it was absolutely that they were fired, and
Really?
and then Ron Howard coming in and taking over. So, Ron Howard, pretty famous director, did the Da Vinci Code movies, did A Beautiful Mind, back to old school days up to Parenthood and Splash, Willow. He's been around forever. He's an iconic director or whatnot. Interesting. So from what I read, there's been no official announcements, but it seems like what the rumor mill said is that the two directors before were Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They're the guys who did the Lego movie. And from what I understand, so Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who wrote the greatest movie of all time, The Empire Strikes Back, is writing this movie. And he was upset with their portrayal of Han Solo. And what's her name? Kathleen Kennedy agreed with him that those guys were making, from what I understand, that they were making Han Solo seem from like a comedic point of view. So they're making him seem a lot more kind of jokey and funny as opposed to sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
And whatnot. And then I guess that they just kind of were letting the actors kind of ad lib and get crazy a little bit more than the Disney people were comfortable with. So it's weird, like literally this movie was wrapping up shooting. It was wrapping up principal photography when they fired these guys. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. The Rogue One kind of did the same thing. They brought in another director at the end to help out with it because they weren't happy with how it was going. And I freaking love Rogue One to death. So
yeah.
So one side of this is like, okay, there's problems with this movie that I already wish they weren't making to begin with. And the other side of me is like, until they make a bad movie, I trust them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep, totally. So there's your Star Wars news. I'll let you do comics.
Okay.
Because I want to wrap. There's only a little bit of game news, and then I want to wrap it into the topic that I brought Adam in for as well.
All right. Right on.
Yeah, so shoot.
Well, okay. Guess starting off, happened a few weeks ago. We haven't really talked about it. R.I.P. Adam West.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on Adam West's Batman?
I mean, honestly, I don't think I've seen a full episode of it. I know him much better as the mayor of Quahog,
right?
Than as Batman. Right. So I mean, I knew he was Batman. Sucks. He was the first Batman, but I never really watched much of that or anything.
Sure.
So,
so I'm pretty damn old, but I'm not old enough to watch those when they were new. However, when I was a kid, the reruns were on every day, and I assume it's Dad's fault that I was watching them every day. I think I watched every single one of those episodes, and particularly him and who's the guy who was the Joker, Caesar somebody. I can't remember off the top of my head. Bad, but really, it's funny. So my friend Zach, who's in the Facebook group all the time, was talking about how that he'll go into comic shops and places where people are pretty serious about comic books and say that Adam West was my favorite Batman, even before the guy died, and that people kind of roll their eyes at him. And he said, especially since the Nolan movies and all that stuff, that people, there's a perception that it's hokey portrayal or whatnot, or cheesy or whatnot. But you go back and watch those stuff, and the dude kicked ass. All the pows and bangs were those dudes in fistfights. He was the detective Batman too, 100%. Like, it was definitely like those shows might as well have been a detective show because they go to crime scenes, find clues, hunt stuff down. It wasn't all just fistfights. You know what I mean? He was an awesome Bruce Wayne, put on a tux and hang out at a party. The guy had it all. And pretty much, there were a few. If you look at the other stuff that was going on in comic book television show around then or shortly after, stuff was garbage. You look at like the stuff they were doing with the Flash, or if you look at the Hulk and Thor back then in the 70s, holy crap, that stuff was not very good.
Yeah.
The Batman shows, it's good, and the first deal that was successful with comics on film.
Yeah. I watched the old Hulk and Wonder Woman. Those used to be on the Sci-Fi Channel when I was growing up. But
Right.
For some reason, Batman wasn't.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
They probably wanted to charge a little bit more for him.
Yeah.
I guess, and I just talked some shit about the Hulk TV show. The Hulk TV show is okay too. I don't want to talk too much crap about that. I'm down with the old Hulk show.
Yeah.
But yeah, rip Adam West.
Yeah.
First Batman. I feel like one of the best Batmans, if not the best Batman.
Yeah.
Dude, definitely as a young kid, opened my mind up to comics and all that stuff. Big time for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Rip
Died at
Adam West.
88 years old.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Leukemia.
Yeah.
Shitty. All right, moving on though. This also came out a couple weeks ago. We took some time off with the Black Panther trailer. We hadn't really talked about that.
I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it looks pretty badass. I mean, it's a teaser trailer, so it didn't show much. Basically said he was good man, can't be king. Showed that interrogation room. I don't know who the guy they were interrogating was.
Bucky?
And then Bucky wasn't in there.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Some other guy.
Isn't Bucky hiding out there?
But he is, yeah.
Right now?
He's
Yeah.
in Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah. And then they showed Wakanda, like they're around that waterfall party with the flying ship. Everybody's in colorful stuff, following the theme of Marvel movies lately. Let
me pause you right there. I'm so down with the color. I don't even know how to phrase it. Like, compared to how Guardians went, and then how the Hulk trailers look. Thor. I'm sorry, Thor.
Yeah.
And then this one, it's like it's such a cool color palette, and in particular with Black Panther, how they're really mixing it. Like, I don't know how to say this without sounding stupid or politically insensitive, but it definitely takes a color palette that reflects like African art and whatnot, but also throws those crazy bright magenta stuff in the background, like you see all over the Thor trailer and whatnot, to kind of it gives it its own feel, but also makes it feel a part of the rest of those movies. And I just can't say enough about how gray and depressing all the DC stuff looks versus all the Marvel stuff that looks like freaking comic books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love it.
For sure. Yeah. It looks awesome. Yeah. And then they showed him some car chase thing. It looked cool.
Right. You see
the
trailer by any chance that we're talking about for Black Panther?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so it blew me away, I thought. It was freaking awesome. And then everything that I saw, so I was overseas, but everything that I saw on the internet afterwards was nothing but love for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it looks great.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Can't wait. So I'm sure we'll see more before it comes out, but coming out February 16th.
Speaking of trailers, shouldn't we be watching another Star Wars one by now?
We should, yeah.
Gosh, man, it's so quiet.
Should have a while ago.
So quiet.
Probably, just like that just dropped out of nowhere, though. Could be any time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's any talk of that trailer coming up. It was Dirk just texted me, Black Panther trailer, and then I hadn't heard shit about it, and there it was.
Right.
So hopefully that'll happen with Star Wars tomorrow.
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, there's talks of Watchmen TV series. I think I might have talked about this before.
No.
There was like a rumor, or I don't know, but yeah, coming to HBO.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
I just suddenly got way more stoked by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I was afraid you were going to say Disney Kids or Family or whatever is going on with all these other shows. The HBO Watchmen show, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Was there a trailer, Corey, for that? Or was it just, maybe it was right before one of their shows, they show something with that on there?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Because I know I heard this news too about a Watchmen TV series on HBO.
Yeah. All I heard is it's just in early development stages. There's no date or actors or anything announced. Damon Lindelof is the showrunner. He did The Leftovers, which is a show on HBO right now that I've never seen.
Right.
Great show. In my opinion, good show.
Good show. All right. Well, that's good. So, but yeah, that's all there really is. Nothing other than that.
Gotcha. Well, like I say, that's enough for me. You just got me pumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For it to be on HBO, should be sweet. It could be sweet, but yeah. Other than that, we had a Hollywood Reporter recently did a Spider-Man focused feature where they're speaking with Sony chairman Tom Rothman about the Spider-Verse plans. So a couple of new things came out of that. One of them, the Venom movie, Carnage is going to be the villain.
Sure. It makes you figure, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be the first movie, right?
Yeah. That could be sweet. R-rated movie with Venom versus Carnage. I like them both.
Right.
So.
That's the one that's the horror flick, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, has Carnage been in a Spider-Man movie yet? I know Venom has, but I don't think Carnage has.
I don't think so either. Unless it was 3, because at some point my eyes just glazed over in 3 and I
don't
quit
think it was
attention.
3. I think 3 was like Venom, Sandman, somebody else. I don't know. It's terrible.
At some point at the end, I just remember all kinds of superheroes flipping around each other.
Yeah.
And I didn't care.
But yeah, I really like Carnage, so that could be cool.
Sure.
He's cool because he's the, Venom's Eddie Brock or whatever is, a sane guy with a symbiote that makes him kind of crazy. But Carnage is Cletus Cassidy, who's like an insane dude with the Carnage symbiote, and he's just totally psycho killer.
Right.
Wild. Yeah. So that, yeah, hopefully that'll be cool. No Spider-Man, but Venom and Carnage. And then also he announced the movie or movies. It wasn't really clear from what I was reading. After Venom and the Black Cat and Silver Sable movies, there's going to be Kraven the Hunter and Mysterio spinoffs.
Right. So I'm down for both of those. Those are 2 of my favorite characters that haven't yet been on film.
Yeah.
Especially Mysterio.
Mysterio, you could do some really sweet shit with.
Right, exactly. Again, though, Spider-Man better start being in these movies. If this is just the first one, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make 6 different movies about Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man in them, at some point you're going to lose me.
Yeah, unless they're really good. But,
I guess.
I mean, but yeah, it's weird. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah.
Marvel needs to get the shit together. So
absolutely.
So yeah.
Tell them.
So yeah. I'm sure they're listening. But So yeah, other Marvel movie news. Another example of Marvel not having their shit together. So there's rumors of, I guess Bleeding Cool received reliably sourced information about a new Fantastic Four movie being developed by Fox. Those have
Same
always
actors?
gone well. No,
They're
this
gonna reboot
one.
it again?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be rebooted as a kids movie. Um, according to these rumors, it's gonna concentrate on Franklin and Valeria, Reed and Sue's children, with the Fantastic Four still in it.
Huh.
Yeah, real early rumors. It's not even confirmed. Apparently, there's a current draft proposed, written by Seth Grahame-Smith, the guy who wrote Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. Right. So, but yeah, I don't know. Fantastic Four movies have sucked.
Right. Right.
I mean,
it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's so many great things with Fantastic Four, and they just can't get it done.
Yeah,
for sure. They're like one of my favorite superhero teams, if not my favorite. I forget where I put them on my list, but yeah, and it's I don't know if this is gonna be like a kids movie, that'll suck, but if it's a movie about the kids with the Fantastic Four family, with all the other with the Fantastic Four in it, they could do cool things with that. Like when I was reading the Fantastic Four comics before Marvel dropped them because they hate Fox so much and don't want to give Fantastic Four any publicity anymore. When I was reading it, it was really focused on the family, and it's like,
right.
That's what I really liked about the book so much, is it wasn't so much it was a superhero book, but it was also a book about their family and their relationships together, and it was really awesome. So I don't know, could be cool.
I feel like Spider-Man is a kids movie versus like Logan is not. So you can make a kids movie that's also serious.
Yeah,
and it can still be good. But like you say, until somebody makes a good Fantastic Four movie, I'm just assuming that there's like some curse or something where it's impossible to make good Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, totally.
And it's weird. I mean, Fox can make good X-Men movies.
Yeah, right. You'd think so. Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got.
That's it. Okay. So, real light week in video games. Also, after coming off of E3. Obviously, it's going to be quiet for a little bit around here. One thing probably the rest of the world doesn't care so much about, but I'm really stoked about, is City Skylines got announced for PS4. City Skylines, for some reason,
what is
SimCity has dropped off the face of the earth. Remember they tried to make the last SimCity game, and it went crazy with like DRM on PC, broke a bunch of things, and everybody hates it. So City Skylines is the game that all the PC players are playing right now. That is basically a modern SimCity game. I've been a big fan of SimCity forever, so I'm stoked to get a new one. So yeah, coming to PS4. Probably Xbox as well, to be honest. I'm not sure. I read it on the PlayStation blog. Is where I saw that news. And then the other thing with breaking news hit today, the SNES Classic.
Oh yeah,
it's official now. Yeah, so coming out in September, $80. Here's your list of games: Contra 3, Donkey Kong Country, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 3, and who knows what they mean by 3. I didn't see anybody specify if that means 6 or 3. F-Zero, Kirby's Superstar, Kirby's Dream Course. What a lot of people think is the greatest video game of all time that I sadly have not played yet is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Everybody acts like that's the best one. Mega Man X, Secret of Mana, Star Fox. Star Fox 2, which was the whole game was finished and then never released because of weird Nintendo stuff back in the day. So that's a game that nobody's ever played. coming out. Street Fighter 2 Turbo Hyper Fighting, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Mario Kart, Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Super Punch-Out, and Yoshi's Island. So, strong list of games there.
Yeah. Cool if they're on the Switch.
Coupled with, I already own every one of those games, sometimes in multiple places. So it's not for me. But anybody who wanted to buy that, who could get one for $80, cool. The other half of it is that
You won't be able to get one though, probably.
when I saw this announcement, it was Nintendo announcing it on Facebook. In the comments, there was 3,000 comments of rage about the NES Classic.
Yeah.
Nobody could get one, and then it got discontinued. So you got an NES Classic, right?
I got one.
You're like the only one I
Nice.
know that ever got one. What were your thoughts on the NES Classic once you had it, even?
Oh, it was awesome. It was
Yeah.
back to being a kid again and bringing in the 13, 12-year-old at the time to play with us and going through Mario and remembering all the secret places to go to skip levels, and just it was a lot of fun to play.
I heard they had like cool filters and stuff where you could make a flat screen look like an old CRT and stuff.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So you know,
So I'll get this too.
right? Yeah.
I've learned a secret. I can't share it with everybody, but there is a way of getting these. No, honestly, it was the for the NES. It was the luckiest thing ever. I was on my way to work. Target was just opening. I called him up. I said, "Hey, do you got any in?" He goes, "I got 6 of them," and I happened to be right at that exit.
Right.
Took the exit, got into Target, and ran in and got one. I got out of
Nice.
Target. As I was coming out of Target, 20 people were sprinting for the door as I'm walking out with my NES Classic.
You're just like,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Brief
Nice.
note on Nintendo scarcity. You know, still hard to find a Switch around here. There were Switches everywhere in France and Italy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, multiple sitting on every store that I went into that would carry a video game console had Switches, and I still
Weird.
have never seen one on the shelf here.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll
Yeah,
get one
so-
soon.
So yeah, cool device. Man, Nintendo could not have fucked up the NES Classic more. So
Right.
you know, I just have no faith with what they do with that one.
I'm hoping they learn their lesson.
Hopefully, I just don't. Why discontinue it? That's the thing. Why
They
not?
at least learned one lesson. They're giving you both controllers with the actual console this
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
that.
charging you for it. That's why you're at $20 more.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right,
Sure.
so I brought in Adam mainly because he's in my basement and all he's got to do is walk up the stairs. We've been talking about having Adam on for a while. Just wanted to actually talk a little bit with Adam about sports games in general. I feel like he's way more on top of the recent ones than me and you are, Corey. I also feel like wanted to have a brief discussion. Like we've always said from day one, when the type of people that are gonna watch a video game podcast are generally the type of gamers that have like negative impressions towards sports games, man, or whatever. Just that they're not serious video games or something. That there's something different, you know.
Yeah.
My life experience could not have been the opposite. Like growing up as a kid, yeah, I was playing Super Mario. Yeah, I was playing Zelda. But I was also, it was like every day after school, my buddy Carrick down the street would come over and we'd play 6 games of Tecmo Bowl. And then we might play Blades of Steel or Double Dribble. Like, you know, grew up with those games. And then as those kind of morphed into, you know, Madden and NHL games as they are today, like whenever we have the holidays, we get together. People who don't normally play video games can pick up and play and kind of know the rules and stuff like that. Like I've just always considered them to be very good multiplayer games, even before the internet, especially. You know, I got to say, like that, it always was a core part of my video game experience as well. And as I sit here today, like when's the last time I played a sports game? Probably been a long time, if I'm honest with you. But when a new one comes out, that I'm fired up about, I'll get it, I'll play it for 2 months, and then kind of move on, kind of like I do with everything else, with every other type of game, you know. But yeah, you've hit them a little bit more heavy than me recently. I don't know, just wanted to just kind of hit you up on what your thoughts are on the state of sports games in general, and what you like. And I know you got the show recently. I haven't even touched it yet, so just want to let you spit a little bit.
Yeah, typically I buy every sports game that comes out. I used to rotate NBA and Madden every other year, so I won't get bored with one or the other, like you said, you know. But recently, I think you've got so much AI maybe or learning in the game that the days of throwing a Hail Mary or the days of running the wheel route to the outside in Madden and it working every time for a touchdown, those days are over.
That's how Corey used to dominate us. He would be the most unrealistic football coach on planet Earth, and he would destroy our little tournaments every holiday.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why people get turned off on him, because it's the same thing over and over again. Right. Same plays would keep working, but it's just not that way anymore, especially with Madden. And it's not just football games anymore where you're playing the computer. They've got MUT, Madden Ultimate Team. They've got all these different things you can play in there.
Right.
I found myself never playing my saved fantasy anymore, or
your franchise or whatever. Right.
Because I was so busy playing MUT, where they do challenges and you earn cards and you're trying to get your team as high as you can. They do a gauntlet every single month where you got to beat 20 offensive ones, 20 defensive ones, 20 running ones. I mean, just so much involved in that game now.
Right. Likewise, so I haven't played it yet, but with the show, you know, I really like. I'm so glad. PlayStation 4 was the first time in a long time that I've kind of had, since the show was around, that I've had a PlayStation console, and I got to say, it might be the first time ever that a baseball video game has been fun. You know what I mean? Like, you think of the old like bases loaded stuff, like. We played those games, but they're not really a ton of fun. And I feel like the show, just the basic gameplay of it is, if you're into baseball. And then they kind of do what you're saying, where it's like, yeah, there's like a card collection, build your team by collecting cards thing. There's a game that's like Risk, right?
Yes. That's part of the building your cards up.
Oh, it is cards this year?
So you kind of start off and you get like 5 million fans. And you play a team that has 1 million, and then you play 1 million, and then you get closer, and then as you get to like the city, they have like 4 million fans,
right?
And you're trying just to beat these teams to win their fans from them, so you can conquer the whole U.S.
Yeah, right. And then Road to the Show.
Road to the Show,
right?
Yep.
So where you're the single character, and I really liked in the last one I played, which is 2 years ago now, how when it on defense. How the camera's behind you as a second baseman or whatever, and making plays that way, like really cool.
Yeah, I think MLB The Show made a lot of good strides. I can't remember. I know it was in there last year. I can't remember if it was in there 2 years ago. My favorite thing about baseball right now is, you probably remember as a kid, you put it on easy mode, you won by 20 runs. You put it on normal mode and you lost by 5 runs. There was no good middle play. Now they actually start you off in your franchise as a rookie. And as you perform, as you perform, it ranks you up higher, and it kind of finds that middle ground where all of a sudden, about 10 games in, you're playing 5-4 baseball games, just like they should be, without having to go easy or hard.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, all sports games do that.
They do it, and they do it for batting and pitching.
Right.
So if you're good at batting or bad at pitching, it outweighs it.
Yeah, because we do that like. Our Madden League in particular, it was like, we'd win by 50 points.
Yep.
Or if you said it harder, no offense, Dad. My dad won't win anymore. He could beat me and Corey, but he couldn't beat the AI.
Right.
You know, so we're trying to all get ourselves to the playoffs or whatever.
And I think that's a sign of the AI intelligence where you're running plays and the defense is not letting you.
Right. You know? Yep, totally. So yeah, that's definitely a good point. So the other thing I would say is that it seems like, I don't know when it started happening, 5-6 years ago or whatever, NBA 2K is like taking over. You know what I mean? You look at the sales charts, and all year round, that game, it's like Minecraft. That game's in the top 10, no matter what time of the year it is. And we have a little league going as well that has quieted down. You two, I think, stalled it out. The two of you.
Corey still got to play each other.
But man, what a great game. You know what I mean? That game is so fun. To play that game is great. And
I think what they do with NBA that's made it so great is they do a story mode, and they do a different director every year.
Right.
So you kind of play through a story mode as you're coming up through college, and the last one I bought, which was not this year but last year, was a Spike Lee production.
Right. That's the one I have too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one that we have. Yep. And I also want to give a shout out to NBA 2K or 2K in general for not turning servers off. You know what I mean? That pisses me off about the show. Every year they turn the servers off as soon as the new game comes out.
Yep.
And for as expensive as games are, you know, that like makes me mad to the point where I don't want to go buy the new one just because I'm mad about it. You know. But
I'm just such a fan of it. What was it? 2 years ago, I played all 182 games in the regular season. I played the playoffs.
Nuts.
I went in. I tried to draft the team. Don't ever try to do that because it's like you got to draft single A, double A, triple A, major league, and I finally had to give up on it and start over because my drafted so bad.
Right. Right. Totally. So yeah, I just wanted to give sports games their due.
We're done.
What about you, Corey? What's your?
Well, we know his least favorite is Rory because he can't win at it.
Whatever. Yeah. Usually the best are Rory. Till
you bet
Adam came around.
That's funny.
It's about to change up.
I like
next
to say my record is
everybody's
13-2, but I think if I added all the times that Corey just kind of logged off and mysteriously disappeared, it would probably be somewhere more like 34-2.
Whatever.
Yeah, so
starting fresh with the new Hot Shot.
Yeah, talking about golf. So everybody's golf, the Hot Shots game.
Open world.
So I'm okay with the open world. I'm okay with fishing. I'm okay. You know, from what I understand, keep on hearing about, especially during E3 this year, was like that you're going to see other golfers on holes next to you while you're going on your hole. I think that's awesome. I'm worried. I'm not worried, but I'm just trying to set my expectations. I want a golf game with a league. I want a golf game where you can weekly get in, play a round of golf, post your scores against your buddies, and then move on to the next week to play the tournament weekends where you don't necessarily have to be on at the same time, sort of thing. And I just feel like it's never going to happen. Like it would be so easy. I don't understand why they don't do it.
That would be pretty cool. That would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think the Rory had tournaments.
But you had
to do it like
but not
a 3-day time frame or something.
But they weren't private. So it's me. So I'm ranking in at like number 4,782. Like I want to make one that's like my 12 friends every week go in and do that, you know. So I know it's too late, but Hotshot developers, please do that for me. Please.
Or the next PGA.
Yeah, right. Or the next PGA. Who knows what's up with that?
We were discussing the other day. We can't figure out how PGA does not put out a new game every year. It seems to sell, but they
everybody talks about wanting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah. Yep. Even Rory, when it's like took forever for it to come out, and they like half-assed it, and it was weird. I don't know why they gave up on that shit.
At least they tried to. They made up for it in a way of giving you a free course every month or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They finished up developing them or whatever they were doing with those courses, but getting those courses later on was actually kind of fun for me because it gave us an opportunity to play a couple of weeks where we played every course, maybe the first month. But then also a new course would come out and it would bring us back to it and play again.
And they weren't charging for them either, so I'm down with that. Because you could see where they'd easily charge you $5 once a month.
They did that one, I believe, the Masters Edition.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right, gotcha. All right, well, cool. Corey, you got Rory downloaded still?
Yeah.
Pop it up in one of these days and see if it needs an update or anything like that. We'll play it later on this week.
Okay.
All right, cool.
For
All
old
right.
time's sake.
So,
I'll gladly play and go 35-2.
yeah, yep. So let's maybe tomorrow we'll get Dad in. Although he's got house guests right now, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. All right, so wanted to pop off the YouTube community. Get back to the stuff. People supporting us who have YouTube channels as well. We went from the last time we were keeping track before I went on vacation, and Corey just ignored our community completely, and they fell to pieces.
Busy.
we went from 611 subscribers up to we're back up to 623 now. So thank you everybody, all our new subscribers since the last time we were around. Did want to give a shout out to the recent ones in this past since the last time we gave shout outs. Just a few of them this week. I'm going to get back on top of it, get more people in the fold here moving forward. But the first one was CZND, which is this guy is a FIFA streamer. This guy posts so many videos about FIFA. You know, he's going through his own kind of FIFA life, and then he's also does, you know, kind of how-tos, tutorials, things like that for other people out there.
Never played soccer in my life, but FIFA is one of the funnest games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Also, great sports game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, everybody says it's awesome. I've never played it.
Yeah. Corey, maybe we should get the next one.
Yeah, everybody acts like it's one of the best sports games.
Yeah, totally. Next one was Mega Brand On. This guy does Let's Plays in a whole bunch of retro-themed videos and whatnot. I had a good time going through his channel. And then the last one is Sergio Grazzini, which I believe the guy does not speak English, but most of his videos are just pure gameplay videos, so in a big variety. It's not like you're seeing the same one video over and over and over again. So yeah, thanks guys for supporting us. Thanks for subscribing to our page or our channel. And everybody else, if you watch our show, go down to the links in the description here. We'll have their links listed, and click on them. Subscribe to their channels, please.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go full spoilers this week on Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Wonder Woman, want to be a part of that conversation, stick around. If you haven't seen Wonder Woman, thank you for watching. It's been another great week.
Yeah.
Corey?
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Adam.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do it again sometime. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you're out, see ya.
Later.
All right, everybody. We got him. The movie night's back. Casey,
What's
how you
up?
doing?
Doing great. Ready to talk about some Wonder Woman.
Yeah, let's do it. So first, real quick, go through your usual spiel. Tell people where they can find your stuff, what you do, all that stuff.
All right. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Movie Night, on Twitter, Movie Night 88. You can follow me there, and I do movie reviews every week. And soon, when Game of Thrones starts, I'm going to be doing Game of Thrones reviews, as well as some theory videos, and I got some other things on the way, too.
Nice. You have to
Nice.
join us for. We're gonna do a
Our
Game of Thrones show also.
Oh, I can talk about Game of Thrones until my jaw just falls
All
off.
right.
No problem.
Cool. Definitely. So yeah, everybody go check out Casey's stuff. I'll put links in the description like I usually do. So hit up his channel, give him a subscription down there. But yeah, we know we're late to the party due to my vacation. It's my fault. We want to talk some Wonder Woman. This is going to be a full spoilers discussion at the end of the show here. So we've already said it. But yeah, if you have not seen Wonder Woman yet and don't want the spoilers, then please check out, because we're going to go full spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
Everyone dies. Just like Rogue One. Just kidding. No. Not really.
Yeah, totally. So, I'll come out and say it. I was not down. You guys both really liked it. I'll let you guys start. You guys can kind of.
Well, just us and everyone else.
What
but,
score?
you know.
What score did you give it, Casey? Just out of curiosity.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
And I couldn't go higher than that because I felt like it did a solid job, but it wasn't like there weren't that many moments that were like wow, but there weren't any moments that were like eye roll worthy either. So it was just, it had a little bit of a cheesy factor, a little bit of too much kind of preachiness towards the end.
Sure. But
I felt like throughout it was good. It was just, it's hard to do an origin movie when you're doing, like I said in my review, you do like 4 different movies in one. There's a lot to cover. So they did the best job I think they could, and I gave it an 8
okay.
out of 10.
Cool. Corey?
Yeah. My score.
Well, or just your thoughts. What I mean.
I yeah. I mean, I give it either a 7 or an 8. I thought that Gal Gadot, or I think that's her name.
Yes.
She made the movie, in my opinion. Like, as far as the story goes and the villain goes, you know what, I wasn't too impressed. The whole war thing, and what, Ares being the final villain. I wasn't super down with that. I almost thought it would have been better without him, just if it was Dr. Poison and the other guy, and it turned out that there wasn't some god talking in their ears and throughout the war, and it was just, you know, she helped win the war, and I almost thought it would be better without him, because he wasn't even in it until the final battle, and then he looked kind of weird with his mustache and the helmet.
The mustache and the helmet wasn't weird. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that it was Ares. I feel like if you're gonna do Wonder Woman, you know, if her dad is Zeus, then I like that. Bring that in.
Yeah, I just thought it might have been cooler if it wasn't a guy and it turned out men are just humans are just assholes sometimes, and
right?
You know, it's not because of the God of War.
As soon as they announced Wonder Woman movie was happening, I was like, "There's no way Ares isn't going to be the villain. Like, he's the obvious choice. He's a well-known, you know, character throughout mythology. I mean, he's an easy pick. Plus, it gives, you know, all the Germans a total out for all their bad shit they did. It's like, oh, it wasn't the Germans. You guys, come on.
Right.
It was the demon guy.
Yeah, but I thought Wonder Woman was awesome. I mean, I thought the fighting scenes were awesome. I thought she played an awesome Wonder Woman. I thought it was, you know, her coming from the island that she grew up on to Earth, and her reactions to everything and humanity and stuff. She played it off so awesomely. Like her first time seeing stuff, it didn't make sense to her, and I just thought she was really good. The fighting was awesome. She's pretty hot. I think she made the movie like good for me. Like, I thought it was the whole plot,
regardless of story, regardless of World War One and all that stuff.
It was awesome watching her fight, and the action scenes were sweet, and her character was awesome, and I want to see her in other DC movies. So I mean, that's what made it good for me, not necessarily the whole story itself. But
and that's the most important part, because if she's gonna be in lots of other movies, so you can make this movie a meh movie as long as you get the character right. Because like you said, now you're more excited to see Justice League, right? I know I am, and it's because of her. So that's what they want. They want to build a universe, so it doesn't necessarily mean they have to knock every movie out of the park, as long as they do justice to the character. No pun intended.
And I thought they did, like, really, like, perfect. I thought she was awesome. So yeah.
Can I shit on it for a minute then?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not
so I feel like the Zack Snyder verse just isn't for me. That, to be honest, I can't see past this movie had two big things that I can't see past in superhero movies, and so by the time it got to the end, these two things bugged me so much that I really wasn't able to appreciate the parts of the movie that were good anymore. So the number one thing and the biggest thing for sure.
I think you should have saw it after a full night's sleep. You're all sleep deprived and cranky going into it.
The number one thing is that she's murdering people left and right.
War is not murder if it's in a war.
Yeah, it's war.
She's a warrior.
She's a warrior goddess, right? So it makes sense that she fights gods, not people. And
Xena was a warrior princess, and she killed people, and it was totally fine.
that's a little different. Until what was it? Batman versus Superman. I had never seen any DC superhero in any type of film or comics kill people. And
Yeah.
Batman's a freaking killing machine in Batman versus Superman, and now Wonder Woman kills about 30 or 40 people in this movie as well.
Okay,
That-
so you don't count Man of Steel when he snaps Zod's neck. You don't count that because it was another Kryptonian.
Right. I'm 100% cool.
Well, that's racist.
With
Because the Kryptonian lives matter.
You're right. You're right. Like I say, it's just my personal thing. Like, I'm 100% cool with superheroes versus superheroes. I'm cool with superheroes versus aliens. I'm cool with all crazy stuff. It's superheroes versus people is an issue for me. And I get that. So the other thing is that the depiction of World War I, you know, I've said this before. Corey's probably sick of me talking about this, but the Captain America one really bugged me with this as well. Is
That was
I
World
feel,
War II.
yeah, right, but same thing. I feel like their depiction of war is not terrible enough, and to some extent, like is almost a insult to the people that actually fought in those wars. I feel like something like Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers or things like that kind of nail it, where it truly feels horrific the whole time. In these movies,
you can't make it horrific the whole time. That would be such a bummer.
but even
It's a superhero movie.
But even the battles and stuff are just basically people falling over. They're not gory. And I get it. It's a superhero movie. I get it. But to me, like you shouldn't base the superhero movies in real wars because of that. To me, that bugs me a little bit. And again, that's just me. I know that nobody else. I haven't heard that complaint from another soul on Earth.
I have a lot to say about that actually, because I actually praised this movie in my review about the fact that one of the huge moments when Wonder Woman goes into the human world is like her whole life she's been training to be a warrior. Like when she show her when she's a little kid and she's supposed to be reading and stuff, and she just wants to go train with the other warriors because, you know, to them that's like the apex of their society. Like war is this beautiful, amazing, you know, awesome thing that they look forward to. And when she is on that bridge when they're walking into I think to like a train or something to go get taken to the front lines, she sees on that bridge all these guys that have lost limbs, that are, you know, in pain, that are getting wheeled off, and she's looking at it, and all of a sudden it dawns on her that war is not for glory, it's not for personal gain or achievements. War is ugly and it's scary, and to anyone but her, it's, you know, a snap, you know, second away from death all the time.
Right.
And I thought that really humanized her. Her reaction to that was really great. And I felt like, yeah, when she's fighting, obviously, you know, she's not going to die. And she kicks ass, and those scenes are kind of bombastic and big and explosions and fun stuff. And she flips a tank over, and you go, yeah. But the other parts, I think they did take at least 2 or 3 moments. Also, when she goes back to the village after all those people are wiped out, like there's a couple of moments where they really stop and they make her realize what's at stake, and that human lives are important, and that war is disgusting and awful. And I thought that was really well done, personally. So totally opposite.
You've somewhat convinced me with that speech.
That's what I do.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with what you just said there. But yeah, and like I say, not for me. That's all.
Well, and no one needs to be convinced that war is ugly, but in those moments, it really convinced us that this person who's a god who could look at us like ants doesn't. She looks at us like, you know, like life is precious.
Yeah, yes, for sure. I guess, to be honest, I don't know. My thought is more, and I'm critical about video games for the same sort of deal, is making war. I think of like a you know, whatever. My oldest kid's 11 nowadays, and him watching these scenes, and you know, it makes war seem thrilling and exciting instead of terrible. You know what I mean? Like he comes out pumped up and wants to go home and play Battlefield 1. You know what I mean? That's exactly what happened with it. And, you know, I just feel like whatever. It just doesn't kind of sit in the same spot for me. But again,
imagine if there was a Wonder Woman power-up in Battlefield 1 where you could be Wonder Woman for a minute. That'd be awesome, like Battlefront, where you could be Luke for a minute. Just tear up shit.
That would be sweet. Absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, so that's my beef, and like I say, that just kind of, like I say, yeah, I agree with both the pluses that you guys brought up, Corey. I think you're right about her kind of performance about when she first gets to London and all that, and kind of learning the ropes, and I did like how much she wasn't listening to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how many men tried to tell her to shut up, she was not going to shut up in any of those situations, you know, or not go fight the Germans across, you know, that spot and whatnot. So yeah, but in general, like I say, the big thing is these two movies, the first two movies where I've watched Batman and Wonder Woman kill people, and it just bugs me so much. I just can't handle it.
You know, the Batman thing too, like College Humor did that like Badman series where like it was a comedian acting like him, and he brought up kind of in a comedic way a really good point about like every time he throws like a batarang in one, and it like sticks into a guy's skin, and he's like bleeding, he's like, ah, like I'm dying, and he's like, yeah, and then he's like, I don't kill people, I just subdue them, and it like pans over to like another like random guy with an AK-47 who's got a batarang halfway through his forehead, like he's totally fucking dead. Like, there's no way you can do all the things Batman does without at least accidentally killing people. And it's like, just turning people into vegetables is that much better than killing people?
Yeah, right.
There's a gray line there. I mean, just saying.
I think though I think that the Nolan movies nailed it. That you know you can have fist fights with people and knock them out, as opposed to driving a tank through them. Like I feel like there's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. But that when he shot his way out of the boat with the Batmobile, that was pretty tits. So
yeah.
You gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm just done with DC movies. I'll still go watch them all and come back on my show and bitch about them. But I've just come to accept that that's what they are. We'll see what happens when Snyder goes away for a few years here, and you know, I'll be interested to see Justice League. You know, I do like how the Justice League trailer, the last one that we really got, had a lot of humor in it.
It seems fun.
Yeah,
it seems like a fun movie.
Yeah, and in this movie, it seems like it really tried that too, particularly with her and you know his secretary and all that stuff. You know, so yeah.
And they said with Whedon taking over, there's been a ton of reshoots apparently.
Really?
So yeah.
Well, they switched directors too. I mean.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And Joss Whedon, which is funny because Joss Whedon wrote and almost directed a Wonder Woman movie like 10 years ago before the Avengers and all that. Yeah, he had a great script, and then at the last minute they chopped it off, and then he ended up doing Avengers.
Right.
But and now he's back in DC Universe.
Right?
Yeah, he is. I think he's writing and directing that, but he's taking a break obviously to finish Justice League. For Snyder. I don't know. I think that Justice League could be great if they kind of follow the Avengers, you know, archetype, because you can see in the trailer they're going to fight, you know, hordes of the parademons or whatever they're called, and that'll be kind of like their version of the Chitauri, I think. So I think if they do that and they make it fun without like super cheesy one-liners, because like the way that the Marvel movies are funny is it's organic. Like it just kind of comes up in the action. They don't like stop and the music, you know, gets drowned out and all of a sudden they turn to the camera and say something cheesy. That stuff I can't stand. That's like Transformers level garbage, and I can't stand that.
Right.
And like the only part of it of Wonder Woman I really didn't like was the humor a couple of times. The only person that I thought their humor worked was because it was natural, just like charisma, was Chris Pine. Chris Pine was awesome.
Right.
I think he was really great. Plus, he was like the man in the movie, and in a time when like he was supposed to be, you know, the man over the woman, but he let her be Wonder Woman. Like he didn't step on her toes or like try and like, you know, mansplain everything to her or anything. He let her be her, and he respected her. It was mutual. I thought that was really good, because in a love story you don't want it to be, you know, the guy like saving. Like imagine if he saved her at some point in this movie.
Yeah.
So like people
that was actually one of my small complaints. I could have done without the love story altogether. I don't think it needed one. But
right.
I think it worked because they didn't overdo it. It was really just like one quick moment, and it made when he, you know, spoilers, died, it made that hurt a little more.
Right.
And I like that. That's like when she like channeled her shit, got really fucking furious. That was tight. The way they handled it. And he did it. He died heroically, which was cool.
Yeah.
Weird that he died, because in the comic books he's like the leader of the Justice League, right? Nate?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he live that? Wouldn't he be like 90 now?
I don't know if he was alive. I'm not sure, but But he definitely didn't die in World War One.
It'd be sadder if they made him die later, like they did with Peggy Carter. You know, like he's just like all old and doesn't, has Alzheimer's and shit.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't want to just totally tear the movie apart, but what did you guys like? I just need.
What'd you like?
So, just quick question first is the end.
Okay.
So, she kills Ares, right? And then all of a sudden, the Germans and the American Indian and everybody's all hugging each other. Like, and then the war is over. You see people holding newspapers saying war is over. Like, I just felt.
It was a turning point.
Was it turning? Was it really that Ares, when she was dead, that finished the war, and to the point where the Germans are going to go hug everybody?
They destroyed all their.
Is there something that I'm missing there?
That's what I mean about it being a little cheesy towards the end.
All right.
A little preachy, but
okay. Just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
But I also said this too, like they're competing with Marvel, and the one complaint people have for DC movies is that they're too dark, too dreary, they're not hopeful enough. And when they are hopeful, it's like super cheesy, preachy Superman, stuff that they don't like. They don't subscribe to that way of thinking. They just think he's a Boy Scout or whatever. I thought this did a pretty good job of describing that, you can have faith in humanity and stuff without just, completely shoving it down your throat.
Sure.
I thought it was a little cheesy, but better than it being dreary, I guess.
Yeah, right.
It's obviously what they were going for.
Yeah, and to go back and answer your first question, what I liked, like I honestly thought right up until she got to the front, I was okay with it all. And everything.
Till she got to the fighting?
Yes. Right. Yeah, and then
not most of those guys didn't die. I mean, like she did kick that one guy up like a tower, and he definitely died.
Yeah, the tower guy died. When she goes into the nest, like where they're shooting a machine gun at her from, she's taking dudes out there.
You were cool with the goddesses at the beginning killing all the Germans with their bows.
They were also getting killed, though. I mean,
yeah, that's a little different. Right? That's a little different. I feel like.
Is it? I mean, every guy she killed was saving lives. I mean,
because they weren't gods.
Yeah, but she had guys. She had mortals behind her. She was basically a shield for them.
She was exactly.
I feel like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman are held
to a different standard than everybody else. Block all their bullets from every human to save them. She's got to kill them, take them out.
She's not the Flash.
Save them.
You can incapacitate people without killing them if you're a guy.
Not every person on the line.
Yeah, you could.
What power of hers is going to do that?
Yeah, and it kind of implied that if she got hit with one of those bullets, she would get hurt really bad. They never showed a bullet like bounce off her like Superman. She had to block every single one. So if she fucked up for 1 second, she could be potentially dead. I mean, probably not.
She doesn't have the power to create a magical barrier across the whole line.
I would have probably started with this bit though, where she like does a shockwave.
Right. Sure.
That would have been pretty good. Like you can open with that, and then deal with what's left. But
right. Also, no invisible jet.
No.
She can fly without it.
That's actually a plus.
That's the new 52, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually a plus. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah.
And I thought they used the lasso really good. That could have been cheesy.
Yeah,
they used the lasso really well.
Yep.
I like that.
Definitely cool. Also, when he did it to himself to prove to her that he wasn't full of shit, that was cool.
That was neat.
Yep, I was down. All right, guys. Casey, thanks for joining us.
Always.
What are you doing 4th of July weekend? You're going to be, it's not 4th of July weekend, it's the weekend after, Spider-Man.
Oh, man. I'm seeing Spider-Man, obviously. I can't wait. I actually joked in my Transformers review because I went to get my ticket ripped, and at the booth they had like 11 by 18 like Spider-Man Homecoming posters, and I was like, "This is the best part of seeing Transformers." I got this free Spider-Man poster. The rest of the movie was shit, but I already put it up on my wall. It's awesome. I love it. So I'm hearing good things, early rumblings.
Yep, I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Sure. Thanks, everybody else. This has been Comically Gaming, episode 58. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week.
Peace. Later.